Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Spring 2016 Georgia Tech graduates. Students, please rise for the faculty processional.
Good evening and welcome. Will you please rise for the singing of the national anthem, which will be sung by members of Nothing But Treble.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Well, good evening. Before we start our program tonight, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the veterans and active service members in the audience. If you've served previously or are currently serving in any branch of the U.S. military, will you please rise and allow us to recognize you? Thank you. We are indebted to you for your service. At this time, I'm pleased to introduce Mr. David Yen, a master's candidate in industrial engineering, who will give us our reflection. David?
Family, friends, faculty, and students, thank you for inviting me to speak on such a special day. Fellow graduates, today marks the culmination of all of your hard work here at Georgia Tech, but more importantly, it also marks the official day where you will never have to wake up for another 8 a.m. lecture or turn in another homework assignment ever again. First of all, I'd like to give a special thanks to our parents, spouses, and children who have been there to support and dream with us from the very beginning. Your encouragement, financial support, prayers, and guidance have helped shape who we are today, and for that, we are grateful. I know many of you have been waiting anxiously for this day to come. Waiting patiently has become a virtue instilled in many of us. It seems like we're always waiting for tomorrow, always waiting for that next big step. As kids, we would say, one day, I'll get to high school and I'll start understanding who I am and my role in this world. And once we got to high school, we said, one day, I'll get to college and I'll learn how this world works. And finally, once we got to college, we said, one day, I'll get to graduate school and I'll learn how to change the world. We've been constantly preparing for that next step, waiting for that perfect tomorrow where all the stars begin to align and we can finally realize our bright futures. But tomorrow, when you wake up a graduate of one of the greatest technical institutes of this world, I don't want you to wait any longer. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The world isn't a perfect place. As children, we took for granted that the world is continually improving. However, as we've grown older, it seems like the opposite is happening. The global economy is struggling. Climate change is threatening irreversible damage to our Earth, and there are people all over the world who lack food and clean water. But now the big question, what's next? Some of you may go on to be corporate leaders around the world. Some of you may be the founders of the next big tech startup, and some of you may discover the cure to some of the world's most troubling problems. However, as you know, the future is unpredictable. I can't guarantee you any of those things. But one thing I can promise you is that each and every one of you will carry the lessons that you've learned at Georgia Tech with you for the rest of your lives. And I'm not talking about lessons that you learned from some textbook. I'm talking about the lessons of perseverance, teamwork, and creativity. I'm talking about the value of service and the recognition of our duty to improve humanity. I'm saying now, you have a Georgia Tech graduate degree. We've been given the tools to make real changes, and we can no longer take for granted that progress happens just with time. We must rise to our potential to push the world forward. Trust me, fellow Yellow Jackets, the stars have aligned, so don't wait any longer. The time is now. Congratulations, class of 2016. Go make one hell of a difference. Thank you.
David, thank you very much for those remarks, and good luck to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Graduates, members of the faculty and staff, distinguished guests, family, and friends, It's my great pleasure to welcome you to the 251st commencement exercises here at the Georgia Institute of Technology. This weekend, we are awarding more than 3,000 degrees, including more than 1,000 graduate degrees we will be awarding this evening. And as we celebrate the successful conclusion of one chapter of your lifelong education, it's important to acknowledge that you have not done it alone. With us today are members of your family, your friends, your colleagues, and those who love you and have supported you to help make this day possible. In addition, with us tonight are members of the faculty who've guided and mentored these students, sharing with them their time, their wisdom, and their expertise in order that each and every one of them can reach his or her fullest potential and achieve this important milestone. Would the members of the faculty please stand and be recognized? To the audience, I could try to stand here and tell you how much the graduates appreciate all of your efforts and support, but I think it probably means more coming directly from them.
Thank you very much for all of your support throughout the years. Finally done with Georgia Tech, bachelor's, master's, and PhD, and I'm ready to go work for Intel now. Thanks.
Just wanted to thank my mom, dad, and brother, and the rest of the family. Thanks for traveling so far to help me celebrate graduation.
I would like to thank my family, my advisors, and my friends. I love you all. Thank you very much.
I really want to thank all the professors here, especially Dr. Bobek, who's no longer at Tech, unfortunately. But every single class I've had here, and Georgia Tech as a whole, I've had the most amazing time and more fun and more learning that I could have ever hoped for.
I'd like to thank all my professors for being so awesome, and shout out to my mom and dad. You guys are awesome. I'm done.
Hey Jackets, we're graduating. Shout out to my family, Hussein Faruqi. One more degree down. I promise this is the last one. Hopefully, maybe not. Congratulations to all you guys graduating. Go Jackets!
Thanks, Mom and Dad. Go Jackets! Woo!
At this time, I'd like to recognize several members of the stage party, and will ask that you hold your applause as they stand when I call their names. Dr. Susan Cousins, Vice Provost, Graduate Education and Faculty Development, and tonight's mace bearer. You know, you haven't got your degrees yet. Dr. Steve Cross, Executive Vice President for Research. Mr. Barrett Carson, Vice President for Development. Dr. Archie Irvin, Vice President for Institute Diversity. Mr. John Stein, Vice President of Student Life and Dean of Students. Ms. Catherine Murray Rust, Dean of the Libraries and Vice Provost for Academic Effectiveness, and Ms. Rita Pekowski, Registrar. Please welcome them and thank them. This is a momentous day for you as graduates and for your family and friends who are here tonight sharing in this celebration of your many accomplishments. You've worked very hard to earn your degree from one of the best institutions in the nation, and in some areas, one of the best in the world. Georgia Tech faculty are engaged in research collaborations in more than 100 countries. The Institute has global centers in several countries, including Lorraine, France. Georgia Tech Lorraine celebrates its 25th anniversary this year, and almost 5,800 students have spent a semester or more at our campus in Lorraine. Georgia Tech students study and intern in more than 70 countries, and over 52% of our undergraduates have some sort of meaningful international experience, either study abroad or work abroad, before they graduate. At Georgia Tech, we pride ourselves on being trailblazers who drive real-world change by embracing challenges, thinking critically, and developing innovative solutions to some of the most pressing problems facing our society and our world today. Your Georgia Tech education is designed to prepare you to work collaboratively, to identify challenges, and to create solutions, and to be leaders in business, industry, government, and the communities in which you will live and work. Georgia Tech is in the business of creating the next idea, the next technology, the next innovators and entrepreneurs, and the next Nobel Prize winners. We're empowering the next generation of scientists, engineers, businessmen and women, architects, and so many others, engendering in them the passion and skills that they will need to be successful throughout their careers. You, as graduates, will be forever linked to this great institution, and we are expecting and looking forward to many great things from each and every one of you. Congratulations. Tonight, we're very pleased to have Dr. John P. Holdren, Assistant to President Barack Obama for Science and Technology, as our speaker for the commencement ceremony. Dr. Holdren also serves as Director of the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy and co-chair of the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology. He holds advanced degrees in aerospace engineering and theoretical plasma physics from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and Stanford University. Prior to joining the Obama administration, Dr. Holdren was a professor in both the Kennedy School of Government and the Department of Earth and Planetary Sciences at Harvard University. And from 1973 to 1996, he served on the faculty of the University of California at Berkeley. Dr. Holdren is a member of the U.S. National Academy of Sciences, U.S. National Academy of Engineering, the American Philosophical Society, and the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. During both Clinton administration terms, he was on the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology. Dr. Holdren has been married since 1966 to Dr. Cheryl Holdren, a biologist, and together they have a son, a daughter, and 5 grandchildren. Dr. Holdren has been very supportive of what we are doing here at Georgia Tech. He's familiar with our research and recently toured the Georgia Tech Manufacturing Institute and has participated in a roundtable discussion with several faculty members about how to make advances in innovation and technology. We're tremendously grateful for his support of science and technology funding during this challenging budgetary time, and especially those of us here at Georgia Tech, the institution which graduates more engineers than any other university in the country, and what we are doing to strengthen the STEM workforce in this country. The Institute has been a key contributor to the Nation of Making movement and the establishment of the White House Maker Fairs. We appreciate Dr. Holdren's support in those endeavors and are honored to have him back here with us tonight as our commencement speaker. Please join me in welcoming Dr. John P. Holdren, Assistant to the President and Director of the White House Office of Science and Technology.
Well, President Peterson, Provost Bras, graduates, family, friends, and of course the distinguished George P. Burdell. He's here somewhere. It's a special privilege for me to have both preceded and followed my boss, President Obama, in visits to Georgia Tech. I visited, as President Peterson just mentioned, I visited the campus in December 2014. President Obama spoke in this very room in March 2015 and touched some of the same themes that I will mention tonight. And it's a particular honor for me to be here to help celebrate the new recipients of graduate degrees from this great institution. And what a great institution it is. As President Peterson already mentioned, Georgia Tech awards more engineering degrees than any other school in the country. But more importantly, I think, it awards more engineering degrees to women than any other school in the country. Georgia Tech is the top producer of undergraduate degrees in engineering for all minority students. It's #1 in the nation in doctoral degrees in engineering to all minorities, as well as in doctoral degrees in engineering to African Americans in particular. You have the #1 ranked programs in the country in industrial engineering at both the undergraduate and graduate levels, and you have the #2 ranked programs in aerospace engineering, both graduate and undergraduate. And your lacrosse team is undefeated. Of course, as great as Georgia Tech is, I know how pleased your graduate degree recipients must be, and in many cases how pleased your families must be that you are leaving the place. After all, your leaving opens the possibility that for the first time, your exceptional talents will be bringing money in faster than it flows out. But I will get a little more serious here. We do science and engineering, and we celebrate science and engineering, not just as ways to earn a living, but because they are meaningful and relevant. Fundamental science, striving to add to humanity's cumulative understanding of the laws of nature and how they shape our world and our interactions with it, striving to know, is meaningful. It is, in a way, the most human of pursuits. We don't call our species Homo sapiens by accident. And applying fundamental understandings from science to solve practical problems, to improve the human condition, including by fashioning technologies to advance practical aims, that is relevant. I want to spend most of my time this evening talking about what some of the most important of those practical challenges are for science and engineering, both nationally and globally, what the obstacles are to meeting those challenges, and what we as scientists and engineers can do to improve the odds of success. The national challenges for which science and engineering are indispensable include providing for job creation and sustainable economic growth, delivering health care that provides better outcomes for more Americans at lower costs, modernizing our energy systems to provide more affordable, more reliable, and higher efficiency energy with lower impacts on air, water, and global climate, building preparedness and resilience against changes in climate that can no longer be avoided, managing under a changing climate the growing demands on water, land, biodiversity, and ecosystem services, creating materials from abundant elements that can substitute for materials containing scarce ones, and of course, providing the tools to ensure that our armed forces, our homeland defenders, and our first responders have what they need to succeed, whatever the challenge. At the same time, collectively, as a global community, we need to do our best to defeat preventable and pandemic diseases worldwide, to eradicate poverty and provide the possibility of sustainable prosperity for all, to maintain the ecological integrity and productivity of the oceans, to develop the technologies to send humans to Mars and beyond, and bring them back if they want. I recall Elon Musk's comment that he wanted to die on Mars, but not on impact. We need to figure out how to defend the planet from killer asteroids, thus establishing once and for all that we're smarter than the dinosaurs, most of which were exterminated 65 million years ago by a 10-kilometer asteroid that struck the Earth with the energy of 60 million 1-megaton bombs. That's right, that's 60 million megatons. Look it up. And finally, speaking of hydrogen bombs, we need to figure out how to prevent nuclear weapons and other weapons of mass destruction from ever being used. The solution to which, obviously, is partly a matter of politics, but also a matter of science and engineering. With respect to our national and global capacities to adequately harness science, engineering, and innovation to these noble purposes, there are both significant obstacles and immense opportunities. Let me start with the obstacles. The most expeditious development and application of the needed science, engineering, and innovation are being impeded by 5 unfortunate and unfortunately widespread circumstances. The first is an inadequate appreciation by policymakers of the crucial importance of investments in basic research, the essential seed corn from which future applied advances will grow. This inadequate appreciation is even leading in some countries to a misguided insistence by political figures that all government research projects must be justified by reference to specific expected benefits to the economy or national security. Basic research cannot and should not need to meet such conditions. The second obstacle is the difficulty of maintaining steady, never mind growing, funding for any R&D efforts, whether basic research or applied research or development, amidst the vagaries of year-to-year budget cycles and changes in government. Some way to protect R&D budgets from irrational fluctuations simply must be found. The third obstacle is the degree of separation of fields of knowledge into traditional disciplines: physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, electrical and mechanical and aerospace and industrial engineering, economics, political science, and more. A separation that characterizes too much of what is done in our colleges and universities, and also too much, I think, of what is done in industrial research labs and science and technology-oriented government agencies. In industry and government, this separation is described as stovepiping, although its defenders prefer the term cylinders of excellence. But the facts are, first, that most of the national and global challenges I listed a few moments ago cannot be understood, never mind solved, without the help of insights from multiple disciplines, from the natural sciences to engineering to the social sciences. And second, that more and more of the most exciting discoveries and inventions germane to meeting these challenges are coming from the integration of disciplines in creative ways, sometimes termed convergence. The fourth obstacle is the set of challenges along the path from discovery and invention to widespread and useful application in society. Obstacles ranging from lack of financing for the demonstration and early commercialization steps on that path, to lack of understanding of user needs, markets, and marketing by those who made the discoveries or inventions. And the fifth and perhaps most fundamental obstacle is the widespread inadequacy of STEM education. More broadly, inspiration, opportunity, teaching, and mentoring in science, technology, engineering, and math, from preschool to grad school to communication about science and technology with the wider public. That broad inadequacy inevitably leads to fewer scientific breakthroughs and transformative technological innovations than we'd otherwise have. It leads to a workforce in which too many lack the technical skills that 21st century jobs increasingly demand. And it leads to low scientific and technological literacy in the public at large. That last shortfall is a growing handicap in democracies where public opinion matters, given that more and more of the issues before our elected decision makers have significant scientific or technological aspects. But now to the opportunities. A number of positive trends point to improving prospects for bringing science, engineering, and innovation successfully to bear on our societal challenges. And I'm very happy to note that your institution, Georgia Tech, has been and remains a leader among American universities in demonstrating the power of these trends by embodying them in its teaching, its research, and its engagement with the wider world. I'm going to spend a few moments describing the main positive trends, how the Obama administration and Georgia Tech, separately and often together, have been driving them forward. First, new frontiers of innovation are opening up at the intersections of scientific and engineering subjects that previously proceeded in largely separate disciplinary compartments. Advances at the intersection of nanoscience, biotechnology, and information technology come to mind, and at the intersection of engineering and medicine, and at the intersection of high-performance computing, data visualization, and neuroscience. The whole domain of big data and big data analytics is poised to revolutionize many domains of both research and practical application. President Obama's American Innovation Strategy, first released in September 2009 and updated several times since, has had as one of its main themes the promotion of multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary research. And the administration has launched major initiatives in big data, mapping and visualizing the workings of the human brain, combating antibiotic resistance, precision medicine, strategic computing for science, the economy, and security, and climate change mitigation, adaptation, and negotiation, linking natural science, engineering, and social science. Georgia Tech's commitment to interdisciplinary approaches to big challenges is exemplified in the theme, Creating the Next. That is described in Georgia Tech's own literature as, quote, unbound by silos, limitations, expectations, or stereotypes, close quote, and it's focused on the next technologies for vaccines, for medical diagnostics, for robots, for cybersecurity, and much more. Georgia Tech's Sam Nunn School of International Affairs sits squarely at the multidisciplinary intersection of science, engineering, and international relations and policy. Named for the distinguished former senator from Georgia, whom I'm honored to call a friend, the school harnesses Georgia Tech's remarkable capabilities across all of the relevant disciplines to advance global development and security. And Georgia Tech has been and is a participant in most, maybe all, of the Obama administration's interdisciplinary initiatives I mentioned a moment ago, plus some others, the materials genome, smart cities, and more. Second positive trend. Around the world, all of us are getting better at building and exploiting partnerships for science, technology, and innovation. Partnerships across agencies within our governments, across levels of government, national, regional, and local. Partnerships linking businesses, universities, government, and civil society organizations, and partnerships among nations. All such partnerships have the benefit of sharing costs and risks, as well as diverse, relevant expertise and insights. And the partnerships linking business, academia, and government have the further benefit of helping with the challenge of translating discoveries in the laboratory into applications benefiting society. Promoting such partnerships has been another major theme of the Obama Innovation Strategy. Domestically, the Advanced Manufacturing Partnership, the National Network for Manufacturing Innovation with 8 centers in operation and 7 more to come this year, the 5 energy innovation hubs, and more, all linking industry, universities, and national labs in ways that exploit the comparative advantages of all 3. Internationally, the now well-established Clean Energy Research Center with China and the emergent counterpart with India, or placing science, technology, and innovation at the center of USAID's development strategy, or building up our nuclear safety cooperation with Japan and China, to name just a subset. Georgia Tech, for its part, runs one of the oldest university-based incubators in the country, the Advanced Technology Development Center, has been a key participant in the Advanced Manufacturing Partnership, with your president, Bud Peterson, chairing the steering committee. And Georgia Tech is a longtime leader in the international experience it provides for a remarkable fraction of its students. Third, we are learning in the United States that giving our doctoral students and postdocs in science and engineering some training in how to be successful tech entrepreneurs, that is, training in the disciplines and skills needed to convert their own discoveries into marketable products, is a great help in speeding up the pace of societally meaningful innovation. NSF's I-Corps program, standing for Innovation Corps, provides NSF-supported graduate and postdoc students with training in these entrepreneurial skills, increasing the chances that they will participate in the translation of their own research into widely beneficial applications. And that program has been so successful at NSF that it's now being replicated at the National Institutes of Health. Georgia Tech was one of the first I-Corps nodes. It has run hundreds of faculty and students through its entrepreneurial discovery courses. Fourth, we're starting to make real progress in understanding how to improve our performance in the all-important domain of STEM education. This involves moving away from lecture-based instruction to active learning, demonstrating the relevance of science and math to real-world issues that young people are interested in, problem-solving in groups, learning through appropriately crafted video games, early engagement in real research projects, and use of technologies like 3D printing to get young people making things. It also involves reaching out to inspire and providing education and training in STEM to groups that have been traditionally underrepresented in STEM fields, most notably women and girls and minorities. When we fail to include these segments of our populations, which brim with talent and energy but have been discouraged by lack of access to inspiration, role models, mentoring, and tools, and sometimes by prejudice and discrimination, they miss out on the opportunity of rewarding careers as scientists, engineers, high-tech entrepreneurs, and technicians, and society fails to get the contributions that these individuals could have made. In the Obama administration, an initiative called Educate to Innovate, launched in September 2009, now has more than $1 billion in support from the private sector and the philanthropic sector to bring participating scientists, engineers, and mathematicians into K-12 classrooms and provide the mentoring, the role models, and the excitement of careers in science and engineering to kids who are at the stage of their lives when they're deciding what they're going to do. Change the equation. 100 CEOs participating in a program to enliven math teaching at the K-12 level. 100K in 10, a program to train 100,000 new high-quality STEM teachers at the K-12 level in 10 years, or the STEM Master Teacher Course, and the STEM Inclusion Initiative, the College Opportunity Initiative, all aimed at addressing this set of STEM challenges. As for Georgia Tech, its leadership in this space has already been mentioned in the statistics that I cited at the beginning, and it is such a leader in this space that I have to say, I think that's one of the reasons that President Obama came to address folks in this same room. Altogether, there is no question that the Obama administration could not have found a better party, a better partner for the demonstration of the priorities that we have been trying to advance on the ground, in the classroom, in the real world than Georgia Tech. Let me, with that, conclude these remarks by congratulating the new graduates, wishing you all success in creating the next, and go Jackets. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Holdren, for being with us tonight and for your kind remarks. At this time, I'd ask Dr. Rafael Bras, Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs, and Mr. Michael Tenenbaum to please join me at the podium. Michael E. Tenenbaum is a Georgia Tech College of Engineering alumnus with a degree in industrial engineering. He also received a master's in business administration with honors from Harvard Business School, where he later served on the Board of Associates and as a member of the visiting committee. Michael has remained a dedicated friend to the Institute. He served as a member of the National Advisory Board of Georgia Tech and as a trustee of the Georgia Tech Foundation, where he's served as chairman of the investment committee and is currently a trustee emeritus. He's a member of the Academy of Distinguished Engineering Alumni of Georgia Tech's College of Engineering, and he is the founder of the Tenenbaum Institute at Georgia Tech, which helps businesses, organizations, and other agencies to use data to better inform decision-making. Michael is the founder of Caribbean Capital and Consultancy Corporation and previously co-founded Tenenbaum Capital Partners. His list of civic engagements is long. Among them, Michael is a member of the Smithsonian Institution National Board and founder of the Smithsonian's Tenenbaum Marine Observatories. At UCLA, he founded the Tenenbaum Interdisciplinary Center at Neuropsychiatric Institute and the Michael E. Tenenbaum Family Endowed Chair in Creativity Research. Michael was a member of the Secretary of the Navy Advisory Panel and a recipient of the Department of Defense Distinguished Civilian Award. He served as Vice Chairman of the Board of Governors for the Boys and Girls Clubs of America and is now a life member of its Board of Governors. He's been Chairman of the Joffrey Ballet and Director of the Los Angeles County Music Center. Michael has two sons, Mark, who's with us here tonight with his fiancée Allie, and Andrew, and has two grandsons, Christopher and Frederick. His wife, Suzanne, Mark, and Mark's fiancée are with us here this evening. Let's recognize them. My apologies, it's Andrew that's here. This evening, we are going to award an honorary degree. This is the most significant honor that a university can bestow upon someone. At Georgia Tech, we hold these honorary degrees very dear. Honorary degree holders include President Jimmy Carter, Atlanta Mayor Ivan Allen Jr., astronaut John Young, U.S. Labor Secretary and Senator Elizabeth Dole, and Senator Sam Nunn. This evening, the Georgia Institute of Technology will confer its 33rd honorary Doctor of Philosophy in the Institute's 130-year history on Mr. Michael Tenenbaum. I'll read you the citation. The Georgia Institute of Technology, to all whom these presents may come, greetings. Whereas Michael E. Tenenbaum has provided exceptional leadership in the private investment sector over the course of his distinguished career, has selflessly given his time and resources in support of education, health, culture, and scientific inquiry, profoundly affecting the nation and the world through visionary philanthropy, and has tirelessly supported his alma mater through a half-century of volunteer service, and along with his wife, Suzanne, provided transformative philanthropic support across the Georgia Tech campus. Now, therefore, we do hereby confer the degree of Honorary Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, and honors thereunto appertaining. In witness whereof, the signatures of the Chancellor of the University System of Georgia and the President and the Registrar of the Georgia Institute of Technology are hereto subscribed, and the seal of the Institute is affixed, given at Atlanta on this 6th day of May, 2016. Dr. Bross, would you please hood the recipient?
I really wanted Young Engineer of the Year, but passed me by. President Peterson and Val, President Emeritus and Ann Clough, my dear wife Suzanne and family members, distinguished faculty and fellow students. Student is not a vocation, it's a lifelong state of mind. Every day that you learn something new is a good day. Every day you discover something cool is a great day. Georgia Tech has forever changed the functioning of your brains. You're used to working hard, you've developed habits of accuracy, your reasoning process is rigorous. Enhance these powers by exercising your minds regularly. Mindfulness is strengthened by regular routines. They improve your general health, make your decisions more rational, and these processes going on will help you achieve your dreams. Standing up here is a dream to me. It's a long way from my first day at Tech. I was an unsophisticated country boy from Glenn County in Georgia. The cooperative plan enabled me to attend college. It's the solution for the student loan disaster scene. It should be expanded. Cue the photo. I owe the good start to my parents. They wanted a better life for me. I wish they could see this day. America has, since its inception, been a beacon of freedom and opportunity to people from all over the world. The most adventurous of them have come here, and their DNA is blended to make a great country. May that always be the case. Thank all of you for sharing this moment with me.
So Dr. Tenenbaum mentioned it, but I want to recognize one more special guest, two more special guests we have with us tonight. My predecessor, the 10th president of Georgia Tech, Dr. Wayne Clough, and his wife Ann are here with us tonight to recognize Mr. Tenenbaum. The moment of walking across the stage represents the culmination of much work and achievement for each of our graduates. I'd ask that after you receive your diploma, you return to your seat and show your fellow students the same respect they've given you as you cross the stage. A note to our guests, in 2014, we instituted a new Georgia Tech tradition of holding a separate PhD hooding ceremony before commencement. I know that many of you joined us for that special event earlier this afternoon. Now, we look forward to presenting diplomas and shaking the hands of Georgia Tech's newest PhDs. And I'm pleased to welcome Dr. Rafael Bras back to the podium, who will now present the candidates for the doctoral degree.
Good evening. Will the candidates for the doctoral degrees please rise? Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting to you for the doctoral degrees those candidates who have completed all requirements for those degrees.
Thank you, Dr. Bras. Don't sit down yet. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Georgia Institute of Technology and by the authority of the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations on earning Georgia Tech's highest degree.
Dr. John Erdogan. The doctoral advisors are Dr. Frank Dellert and Dr. Heinrich I. Christensen. Dr. Roland Wild O'Flaherty. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Magnus Eggerstedt. Dr. Daniel Pickham. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Magnus Eggerstedt and Dr. Jeff Shama. Dr. James Paul Fairbanks. The doctoral advisor is Dr. David Albert Bader. Dr. Shi-Yun Tong. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Mark Borodovsky. Dr. Jaya Arya. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Mark R. Prosnitz. Dr. Amy Yi Lei Clark. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Andreas J. Garcia. Dr. Jennifer Lei. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Johanna Timoroff. Dr. Krista Caesar. The doctoral advisor is Dr. W. Robert Taylor. Dr. Ryan Michael Hooper. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Astrid A. Prinz. Dr. Ariel Seitz Kenneth James. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Melissa L. Kemp and Dr. Hong Lu. Dr. Kyle Harish Srivasta. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Samuel Sober. Dr. Katera Lene Wilder. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Manu O. Platt. Dr. Mushir Ahmed. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Mustaq Ahmad. Dr. Vinay Kumar Betapura. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Irfan Isa. Dr. Henry Lee Carter. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Patrick G. Traynor. Dr. Aridana Chiptadi. The doctoral advisor is Dr. James Matthew Reig and Dr. Gregory D. Abode. Dr. Naila Faruqi. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Karsten Schwann. Dr. Catherine Rose Greve. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Eric Edmund Gilbert. Dr. Ramakrishnan Kannan. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Haesoon Park. Dr. Terry Lee Nelms II. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Mustaq Ahmad. Dr. Junhee Park. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Calton Poo. Dr. Ajar Tamersoy. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Duanhong Chow. Dr. Ayodeji Adewunmi Fahaibe. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Peter K. Breck. Dr. Henry Blumenthal. The doctoral advisor is Dr. J. D. Bolter. Dr. Sanjay K. Arora. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Philip P. Shapira. Dr. Xiaojing Sun. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Marilyn A. Brown. Dr. Johann Christian Weber. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Brian G. Norton. Dr. Tingting Tong. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Haijing Li. Dr. Jiangqi Huang. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Tibor Besedes. Dr. Robert Brendan Austin. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Pardis Pishtad Bozogor and Dr. Kathy Roper. Dr. Mehdi Nurbakash. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Javier Irizai. Dr. Sang-Woo Song. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Stephen P. French. Dr. Wawan Solehin. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Charles Eastman. Dr. Francisco Javier Valdez Castillo. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Thomas Russell Gentry. Dr. Chia Shu. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Thomas Burkholder. Dr. Yohei Takano. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Takamitsu Ito. Dr. Ramanan Sekar. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Thomas J. DiCristina. Dr. Haewon Jun. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Susan E. Imbretson. Dr. Lauren Elizabeth Margello. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Richard Catrambone. Dr. Allison Lee Martin. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Terry L. Maple. Dr. Akansha Prakash. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Wendy Ann Rogers. Dr. Michael Christopher Clark. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Pablo Laguna. Dr. Ji Guang. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Rick P. Trebino. Dr. Keith F. Prusing. The doctoral advisor is Dr. J. Michael Cathcart. Dr. Michelle Ann Rhodes. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Rick P. Trebino. Dr. Ting Dong Zhang. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Daniel I. Goldman. Dr. Daisy Marie Bourassa. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Christoph J. Farney. Dr. Blake Clark Fleischer. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Robert Dixon. Dr. Fadi Mustafa Dradi. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Seth Martyr. Dr. Sibel Kalyonju. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Raquel Lieberman. Dr. Joel David Keeler. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Facundo M. Fernandez. Dr. Megan Arlena Mann. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Lawrence A. Bottomley. Dr. Kartikay Mudgil. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Seth Martyr. Dr. Nathan Timothy Evans. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Kenneth Gall. Dr. Ashley Nelson Golding. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Richard William New. Dr. Kuson Hu. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Vladimir Sukruk. Dr. Simiao Niu. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Zhong L. Wang. Dr. Benjamin Harris Rainwater. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Meilin Liu. Dr. Gordon Henry Waller. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Meilin Liu. Dr. Seth Lawton Young. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Vladimir Sukruk. Dr. Ruo Ming Yu. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Zhong L. Wang. Dr. Evren Goul. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Roshan J. Vingajayil. Dr. Timothy Andrew Sprock. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Leon F. McGinnis. Dr. Natalie Rose Schloeder Caruso. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Mitchell Walker. Dr. Nathan Crozer Latrobe Nisley. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Dimitrios Mavris. Dr. Nicholas Arthur Magina. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Tim C. Lievin. Dr. Tyler Reed Milner. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Dimitrios Mavris. Dr. Charles Lee Potter. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Dimitrios Mavris. Dr. Daniel Timothy Prosser. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Marilyn R. Smith. Dr. Matthew Simon. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Alan Wilhite. Dr. Eric Michael Zellers. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Dimitrios Mavris. Dr. Lin Yu John. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Dimitrios Mavris. Dr. Rohan Vivek Awati. The doctoral advisor is Dr. David S. Scholl. Dr. Ryan Michael Claremont. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Andreas S. Bomarias. Dr. Hakan Demir. The doctoral advisor is Dr. David S. Scholl. Dr. Natalie Marie Gerard. The doctoral advisors are Dr. James Carson Meredith III and Dr. Misha L. Schaffner. Dr. Tapes Joshi. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Thomas Fuller and Dr. Gleb Yushin. Dr. Matthew Joseph Mistilis. The doctoral advisors are Dr. Mark R. Prosnitz and Dr. Andreas S. Bomarias. Dr. Dalar Nazarian. The doctoral advisor is Dr. David S. Scholl. Dr. Mohammed Akil Saeed. The The doctoral advisors are Dr. Karsten Sievers and Dr. Pradeep K. Agrawal. Dr. Jin Kwan Town. The doctoral advisors are Dr. Dennis W. Hess and Dr. Lawrence Victor Adrian Riedveld. Dr. Sezunica Elizabeth Ivy. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Armistead G. Russell. Dr. Yong-Ha Kim. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Sotira Yakumi. Dr. Adeniya Bhatt. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Susan Burns. Dr. Aaron Michael Costin. The doctoral advisors are Dr. Kimberly Aaron Curtis and Professor Charles Eastman. Dr. Bradley Paul Dolphin. The doctoral advisors are Dr. Kimberly Aaron Curtis and Dr. Lawrence F. Kahn. Dr. Christopher Scott Gray. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Susan Burns. Dr. Dong Yong Lee. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Valerie Thomas. Dr. Ozan Bichin. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Ian F. Akiyildis. Dr. Chia Wei Chin. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Ajit Rohatagi. Dr. Yifan Chen. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Qianhui Li. Dr. Yancy Jose Diaz Mercado. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Magnus Egerstedt. Dr. Michael Peter Guy. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Bernard Kippelin. Dr. Brendan Patrick Gunning. The doctoral advisor is Dr. William Allen Doolittle. Dr. Andrew Dawson Harper. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Xiaoli Ma. Dr. Farzad Michael David Inanulu. The doctoral advisor is Dr. John D. Kressler. Dr. Pierre Paul Roger Isotier. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Stephen E. Ralph. Dr. Talha Mansour Khan. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Bernard Kippelin. Dr. Alireza Kosh-Gaftaman Farid. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Ellen Zagora. Dr. Min Soo Kim. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Mark G. Allen. Dr. Wong Gray Kim. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Linda Miller. Dr. Sriharsha Kota Pavan. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Stephen Eugene Ralph. Dr. Tushar Kumar. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Santosh Pandey. Dr. Jiaming Li. The doctoral advisor is Dr. George Vatsevanos. Dr. Nelson Estacio Lorenzo. The doctoral advisor is Dr. John David Kressler. Dr. Arashk Nuruzpur Shirazi. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Farokh Ayazi. Dr. Volaba Ogunmakin. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Patricio Vela. Dr. Yoni Alexei Papanin. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Santiago Grijvalva. Dr. Reza Purabogasim. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Ali Adibi. Dr. Sadia Shakil. The doctoral advisors are Dr. Chin Hui Lee and Dr. Sheila Keelsholz. Dr. Ryan Paul Han. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Fazad Ranima. Dr. Daniel Edgardo Lago. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Farzad Ranima. Dr. Alexander Patrick Moore. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Chaitanya S. Dio. Dr. Michael Joseph Petrongolo Jr. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Lei Zhu. Dr. Jessica Lauren Saunders. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Anna Erickson. Dr. Christopher Lane Stewart. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Anna Erickson. Dr. Teresa Marie Wilkes. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Weston Monroe Stacy, Jr. Dr. Martin Reed Kakan. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Mark F. Costello. Dr. Hannes Gorkin Dapp. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Wayne J. Book. Dr. Aaron Yahuda Dunn. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Laurent Capolungo. Dr. Rajep Mohammed Gorgulurasan. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Seong Choi. Dr. Isan Hosseinian. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Olivier Piron. Dr. Pierre-Alexandre Juan. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Laurent Capolongo. Dr. Xianglei Liu. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Zhuomin Zhang. Dr. Yital Liu. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Roger Jiao. Dr. Andrew Thomas Radzicki. The doctoral advisor is Dr. William S. Johnson. Dr. Mele Turkseven. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Jun Ueda. Dr. Jesse I. Wachin. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Jomin Jong. Dr. Sweta Ratan. The doctoral advisor is Dr. Ajit P. Yoganathan. Dr. Fan Kai. The doctoral advisor is Dr. John Papalomerio. Dr. Michael Bernard Hatcher. The doctoral advisors are Dr. Kathy O. Roper and Dr. Babak Ashuri.
Please join me in congratulating all of our doctoral degree recipients. Dr. Bross will now introduce the academic deans by college and then present the candidates for the master's degree.
We begin the presentation of master candidates for interdisciplinary degrees across multiple colleges. Will these candidates rise and remain standing? Interdisciplinary degrees. You cannot be all. There we go, that makes sense.
Interdisciplinary.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting to you those candidates for Master of Science degrees who have completed the requirements for this degree. The interdisciplinary degrees.
Yep. Raphael, are you going to give it to him? Yes.
Master of Science, Nandita Damaraju. Natalie R. Fitch. Kevin Daniel Flansburgh. Arua Garbi. Pushkar Godbole. Stefan Klaus Wilhelm Henneking. Joshua Howard. Gay Wong. Tong Jin. Robert Hyungu Lee. Yue Peng. Feng Tian. Yong Kai Wang. Minji Wei. Zhongwang Xiao. Jingting Liu. Saman Yarmo Hamade. Zara S. Alabachayo. Nivite Aurora. Ariel Nicole Kaysen. Meng Chi Chen. Titi Layor E. Craig. Harrison Allen Daniels.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting those candidates that have completed the Master of Science from the College of Computing and all the requirements of that degree. Dr. Zvi Galil will present the degrees.
Candidates for the Master of Science degree in the College of Computing, please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting to you those candidates for the Master of Science degree who have completed the requirements for this degree.
Thanks, sir.
Titilayo E. Craig. Harrison Allen Daniels. Yuan Ju Fan. Yuan Gao. Liza George. Hannah Jane Glazebrook. Apurva Gupta. Radhima Gupta. Megan Elizabeth Hamilton. John Blood Hinkle III. Azita Irani. Varsha Jugdali. Manasvi Mahesh Lalali. Andrea Lau. B. Ching Lee. Vincent Frank Martin. Aiva Mikolavisuetu. Matthew Clark Moldevan. Gina Nguyen. Chandler Eric Price. Bhargav Rajendra. Ruda Rajiv Surdesai. Monet Alexis Spells. Shazia Tambawala. John Roger Thompson. Piper Lynn Vornholt. Tanish Wag. Sean Wu. Meijie Xia. Ning Su. Ning Yan. Yiwan Zhang. Statistics. Nabil Abdurrahman. From the College of Computing, Master of Science in Information Security, Abdul Majid Abdulaziz Al-Dujian. Abdulaziz Ibrahim Al-Mackenzie, Master of Science in Computer Science, Aka Mishka. Keith Thomas Adler. Kupil Ugewal. Emmanuel Amaro. Urjun Anand. Harinandu Adnana Narimamna. Leonardo Apolloniou. Sasha Azad. Terry James Baxter. Jordan Belknap. Paul Stephen Barasuta. Yeon Bono. Aridam Bose. Catherine Eugenia Canella. Flavio Castro. Sabi Shaleb. Vineet Deodar. Shantanu Uday Deshpande. Lamia Dridri. Meng Yi Du. John Joseph Dugan III. Hai Viet Dezuye. Brandon Ames Durpo. David Anthony Fahour. Corey Luke Featherly. Clayton Ewing Fusto. Stephen Andrew Forster. Keith Alexander Frazier. Pritam Gautam. Rahul Goel. Christian Thomas Graham. Kyle Brent Grunwald. Meghana Gupta. Sean Francis Harrington. Zachary John Harshaw, Tyler Clinton Hastings, Wei He, Daniel Christopher Holmes, Eugen T. Istok, Sneha Parthasarathi Iyengar, Ajitesh Jain, Adam Christian Johnson, Mira Kamath, Deepti Kochar, Scott R. Lightstein, Kelly Christopher Littlepage, Sonal Mahendru, Karishma Vipul Malkan, Aman Mangai, Adriano Montero Marquez, Subhan Narayanan Malapalam, Kenton Ray Miller, Saranya Muragananam, Gopi Krishnam Numbihar, Kelly J. Nielsen, Sanjana Satish Okar, Suraksha Suresh Pai, Amol A. Parikh, Matthew William Parmalee, Joshua Logan Powers, Siddharth Rajendra Rajra, Shweta Raj, Prajwal Rajendra Prasad, Nia Rush, Shanu Salunke, Enrique Jose Suarez Hue, Manasvini Sethuraman, Sanket Sharma, Rachel Y. Ying Fong Sheketoff, Bradley Alexander Sheneman, Pratik Singhal, Joseph Andrew Slater, Jasrimam Kaur Samal, Aziz Akbar Ali Somani, Rohan Ravindra Samne, Arjun Srinivasan, Jasper William Stone, Zachary Ryan Suffern, Samuel Chakra Susilai, Jeffrey Nolasco Valdez, Divya Vijayaragana, Ran Wang, Michael Weber, Jean-Baptiste Vibev, Rutten James White Magner, Andrew Mark Wilder, Charlene Yan, Andrew Marcus Ibarra, Yixin Zhang, Yiwei Zhao, Jujiamin Zhu,
Dean Jacqueline Royster will present the master candidates for the degrees in the Ivan Allen College of Liberal Arts.
Will candidates for the Master of Science degree in the Ivan Allen College of Liberal Arts please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting to you those candidates for the Master of Science degree who have completed the requirements for this degree.
From the Ivan Allen College of Liberal Arts, Master of Science in Economics, Lauren E. Foley. Connor Paul Mason. Michael Stanley Williams. Master of Science in International Affairs, Megan Ann Check. Kionia Shukis. Martina Dadai. Madalena Michelle Guyland. John Stephen Krasanikak. Rebecca Chalmers Purser. Master of Science in Digital Media, Jessica M. Anderson. Chong Guo. Mark Bernard Hewitt. Joel Russell Huffman. Ashley Suzanne Jennings. Eugene Joseph Kansas. Jessica Ann Lewis. Michelle Purnama Dewey Partogi. Erica Lee Kramer. Master of Science in Public Policy, Rebecca Lynn Harris. Catherine Ann Mitchell.
Associate Dean Nancy Green Lee will present the Master of Candidates for degrees in the College of Architecture.
Candidates for the Master of Science degree in the College of Architecture, which is soon to be called the College of Design because our students combine design with technology to make smarter and healthier cities and buildings, innovative products and resilient economies, and music technology that transforms the way we make and listen to music. Please, candidates, rise. Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting to you those candidates for the Masters of Science degree who have completed the requirements for this degree.
From the College of Architecture, Master of Science in Urban Design, Shijia Wang. Lu Pang. Master of Science in Music Technology, Christopher Ryan Latina. Ritesh Kumar Ravikumar. Regis Olivier Verdun. Master of Industrial Design, Joachim Berglund. Sydney Stiles Brinson. Grace Hyun Jung Cha. Christopher David Chapman. Xiao Han. Wanhong Liu. Deepak Selvaraj. Ting Xiao. Chuan Zhao. Master of Science in Building Construction and Facility Management, Muhammad Abbas Jassim Al-Maleke. Malik Boulos Bitar. Adolfo Guido Fox Pardo. Jeffrey Scott Kim. Terrence Orlando Lang Jr. Shuyi Lee. Shia Ma. Yazan Najib Subi Mogharabi. Achala Parameshwari Musale Krishna Gowda. Duver Leonardo Oso Rodriguez. Meet Shashikant Patel. Parth Bharat Patel. Mark Allen Sisson. Tiara Simone Thomas. Master of Science in Architecture, Marcelo Bernal. Paula Gomez Zamora. Syed Daniel Moizadeh. Vikram Aditya Narla. Wyatt E. Roscoe. Master of Architecture, Ran An. Alvin Lacorn Ashby Jr. Seda Atasai. Joanna Bledsoe Bedani. Meredith Grantham Blakely. Allison Michelle Bucher, also receiving a Master of City and Regional Planning. Ira Lee Campbell Sr. Alexandra Nicole Crownover. Lawrence Victor Doche. Jose Garza de la Cruz. Jeremy Scott Gentry. Eric David Goldstein. David Jerome Graham Jr. Lauren Cheryl Gradar. Gerard Lester Hall. Drusian Hu. Erica Lauren Hogan. Kyle Roderick Johnson. Edwin Neil Crinson. Nicholas Frank Lowley. Shai Lu Lee. Xiang Li. Vanessa Rodriguez Lira. Chantel Martin. Gabriela Alessandra Melendez. Lucius Workman Morris. Morgan Elaine Nelson. Mikhail McLean Payson. Jessica Marie Peckham. Heather Danielle Potts. Alicia Ann Rabidon. Eugenia Wren. Ashley Nicole Rodriguez. Stacy Hope Scott. Caitlin Danielle Schlokowski. Carly Colleen Smith. Brian Siddeth. David Royal Varner. Aria R. Wooden. Insun Yu. Ying Ying Zhang. Yue Zhao. Master of City and Regional Planning, Austin Michael Albert. Sarah Jane Bond. Joseph Brian Boyd. Adeline Colo. Chirag Deity. Elizabeth Hemming Davis. Corin Hooper. Abram Joseph Luders. Catherine Mundry Maines. Tyler Allen Martin. Megan Corinne McMullen. Shelley Catherine Price. Jane Marie Reesner. Brianna Lee Riddell. Matthew Carlisle Risher. Stefan Pablo Sumaripas. Rishi Raghav Sankar. Stephanie Marie Smith. Anna Amelia Snyder Kelly. Kimberly Ann Tatum. Yihan Wan.
Dean Miriam Alavi will present the master candidates for the degrees in the Ernest Scheller Jr. College of Business.
Candidates for the Master of Business Administration in the Ernest Scheller Jr. College of Business, please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting to you those candidates for the Master of Business Administration who have completed the requirements for this degree.
From the Scheller College of Business, Master of Business Administration, Cameron Jean Clark. Joshua Hugh Coakley. Leah June Sadehi Domanenko. Adam Ostel Flake. Ryan Carlisle McPeak. Leonardo Mosquera Murcia. Paulo Bestero. Joel M. Roach. Christopher Stone Tillotson.
Dean Paul Goldbart will present the master candidates for the degrees in the College of Sciences.
Candidates for the Master of Science degree in the College of Sciences. Home to bold explorers creating new knowledge to help drive forward the technology, computing, and medicine of tomorrow, and also simply to lift the human spirit to new heights, please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting to you those candidates for the Master of Science degree who have completed the requirements for this degree.
From the College of Sciences, Master of Science in Prosthetics and Orthotics. Scott Alexander Annis. Jacqueline Biltner. Malone Gauster Otwell. Mark Aaron Gingrich. Michael Allen Green. Megan Lindsay Kelly. Tyler Craig Lambright. Justin Taylor Marchant. Daniel Christian Martinez. Morgan Amanda Burkett Oxenrider. Beth Ann Petrunich. Cody Allen Smith. Master of Science in Earth and Atmospheric Sciences, Taryn Elizabeth Black. Kelly Bray Flanagan. Lauren Candace Merritt. Master of Science in Biology, Yi Yen. Master of Science in Bioinformatics, Sieta Marzia Zara Rizvi. Master of Science in Physics, Thun Joseph Gwen. Bryce Allen Robbins. Master of Science in Chemistry, Allison Elizabeth Colleen. Catherine Mary Renee Francois. Julianne Shannon Robbins.
Dean Gary May will present the master candidates for the degrees in the College of Engineering.
Candidates for the Master of Science degree in the largest, most diverse, and very best College of Engineering in the country, please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting to you those candidates for the Master of Science degree who have completed the requirements for this degree.
From the College of Engineering, Master of Science in Supply Chain Engineering, Oyinsola Christine Aguana. Matthew Joseph Thornton. Master of Science in Medical Physics, Jenna Lee Fair. Master of Science in Health Systems, T. Clark Howell. Jarrett Vincent McKee. Master of Science in Nuclear Engineering, Baron Jacob Guy Carlton. Brandon Michael Fair. William Michael Meyer. Martin Zavala. Master of Science in Operations Research, Ahmad Ali Bobaid. Jesse Ian Moya. Master of Science in Industrial Engineering, Leo Benatar. Ross Andrew Chesaniuk. David Yan. Master of Science in Aerospace Engineering, Aaron Prakash Nadu. Mansi Satish Agrawal. Andrew Ross Aldrich. Dalton Michael Baer. Ranak Pushpak Bhattacharya. Matthew Lee Brown. George Catalin Buskin. Lucia Kasuchi. Angela Marie Den Boer. Samuel Hikaru Dubin. Aditya Iswar. Benjamin Andrew England. Aditya Eswar. Raphael Henri Marie Gauthier. Charlotte Salome Gill. Anthony Robert Gray. Luca Guidani. Garima Gupta. Andrea Alejandra Gutierrez Cervantes. Dan Alexander Lee. Zihan Lee. David B. Locascio. Shane Vincent Limpany. Joseph Elliott Mattingly. Freeman Kiefer Milligan. Pranay Mishra. Nicholas Riza Motahari. Lukman Omaguko Olawin. Tejas Girash Paranik. Niveta Rajasikhan. Colleen Lucie Marie Rami. Bolis Sabitbek, Eric Schoss, Tyler Mark Scogan, Scott Kenneth Shepard, Scott Bradley Seiler, Clifford Christopher Surkar, Andrew Cullen Smith, Mark Daniel Snyder, Alexander Steinbrenner, James Stephen Wittig, Master of Science in Material Science and Engineering, Christopher Ryan Hauser, David Brian Mutnick, Hasib Sheikh, Bhupender Singh, Sean Tai, William Arthur Viss, Master of Science in Chemical Engineering, Arnaldo A. Negron Marti, Brandon Philip Plicence, Tung Din Vu, Master of Science in Environmental Engineering, Xiaoshun Liu, Maukio Mao, Zmita Arun Narode, Marcia Colleen O'Neill, Harshad Oswai, Aditya Anil Popeo, Tanaporn An Runvigavat, Purnima Sampath, Alexander I. Weichert, Chunyen Shu, Master of Science in Civil Engineering, Christopher Emmanuel Aguilar, Jordan David Bell, Jonathan Anthony DeRuse, Sean Michael Dotson, Shirag Garg, Han Yu Huang, Shumeng Jiang, Kongpok Naranang, Gavin Michael Rinaldo, Leonardo Jose Rogliero, Michael Tyler Whaley, John Tyler Young, Master of Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering, Anis Aike, Rohan Anakil Kalkar, Manoj K. Arapalga, Niharika Arora, Hazar Man Ashuri, Ashwin Shanob, Muzam Ul Azam, Dibakar Barua, Rohit Vayankatesh Belakpukar, Aditya Bunsal, Vishwas Bidikir Venkatesh Murthy, Vincent Claude Robert Beck, Sadiya Prasad Baji, Avinash Bhaskaran, Rishipal Singh Bhatia, Siddharth Jitendra Bhatt, Pranav Dilip Shetty, Krithika Bhuvaneshwaran, Tanmay Nitin Bishu, Jessica Taylor Block, Nithant Bauguram Sushesh Pursad, Thomas Jacques Boucher, Carol Kim Rose Boyer, Auguste Birayun Giro, Alexandre Jean-Pierre Roland Chabot, Nidhi Shandak, Sri Shailesh Vasan Shari, Isabel Julia Henriette Chargenot, Purva Rajesh Chawan, Varad Hemant Shembukar, Setu Shidamburam, Ashwin Kumar Shentaluri, Aditya Shivukla, Munin Chugh, Abasali Hussaini Kompaniwala, Michael Ross Coulter, Victor Paul Charles Darfin, De Naren Desai, Priyank Satish Deshpande, Sachin Dodahai Shigalja, Mamoon Drisi Kaseme, Vivian De Silva, Miriam L. Hanna, Hong Wei Fang, Xing Feng, Ji Feng, Sheldon Sebastian Fernandez, Margaret Ann Fitzharris, Matthew Brent Frank, Alexandre Georges Franz, Robert Daniel Friedlander, Jen Gao, John Mark Garrett Jr., Saket Gajil, Prajuan Gontala, Cody Joseph Griffin, Bryce Ulrich Guillaume, Garimu Gupta, Ria Vikas Gupti,
wish I had a barrel of rum and sugar 3,000 pounds, a college planet and a club stirred around. I drink to all the good fellows who come from far